Hi everyone. Up to in the last session, I explored the prompt engineering real world applications I explained. Now in this session, I explored the real world task using prompt engineering day-to-day activities, zero shot classifications, few shot classification, coding task using Python, coding task using SQL, information extraction, closed domain, question answer, open domain, question answer, document summarization, and transformation. And also explain translations. Those concepts we explored one by one. So for that, we install OpenAI dependencies. We need to install OpenAI dependencies. OpenAI dependencies. See that how to install the OpenAI dependencies is pip install OpenAI. Already in my Jupyter that is installed, I make this as in commenting. I run this. Next, we have to load the OpenAI credentials. Load OpenAI credentials. Now, how to load the OpenAI credentials? From getPass, import getPass, and OpenAI key equal to getPass. Enter your OpenAI API key here. I run this one. Then it is asking you need to enter the OpenAI key. I enter that. Now I import the import OpenAI, and from IPython dot display, import HTML markdown display, and also OpenAI dot API underscore key. I assign this one OpenAI key. I run this one now. This is the spelling mistake is there. Markdown. Now I create ChatGPT completion access function I am creating. I create ChatGPT completion access function I am creating. Now, how I can create ChatGPT completion access is def function name I am written. Function name is get completion. Here, the parameters from model. Model is GPT-4o mini I am using. Now, messages equal to within square parenthesis, within curly parenthesis, I assign role is user, content, prompt. And also I write response equal to OpenAI dot chart dot completions dot create. Within parenthesis, I write model equal to model, messages equal to messages, and I mention one more parameter is temperature equal to 0. In OpenAI, temperature equal to 0 is, in OpenAI, temperature is hyperparameter ranging from 0 to 2 that controls randomness and creativity of model output it is represented. Lower setting 0.0 to 0.3 produce more deterministic, factual, and focused result, while the higher setting 0.7 to 1, it encourages varied, creative, or unpredictable and potentially more hallucinated responses it is providing. That's why I mentioned that temperature equal to 0. Temperature equal to 0. That is degree of randomness of the model's output. And I written a response dot choices starting from the index 0 dot message dot content. This is the function I am defining. The function name is get completion. Prompt model is GPT-4o mini. These two are the parameters I am given. Messages, role is user, content is prompt I am written. Response equal to OpenAI dot chart dot completions dot create I am using. Here, model I assign model, messages I can assign messages, temperature is 0, and I return this one. Now I run this function. Now let's try out the ChatGPT API. Now for this, response equal to function I call get completion. Within parenthesis, I write prompt equal to, within quotation I mention that explain generative AI 5 bullet points, and suggest agentic AI. Also, and use simple language. This is the prompt I am using. Now, model is GPT-4o mini I am using. Now, I had to display markdown response. Now I run this one. Yeah, it is providing the response can display in the markdown style. Generative AI, the key points, it is displayed, what it is, how it works, applications, benefits, challenges. And also in the prompt, I mentioned that suggest agentic AI. Agentic AI. What it is? Example, benefits, challenges, future potentials, they are represented. See, I use the ChatGPT function. See, one more I am represented. We'll see that. Here in prompt, I mentioned that in prompt, I mentioned that what I mention is please suggest how to make paneer biryani. Also explain step by step the quantity and process to make it. To make it. Use simple language. Use simple language that anyone can follow your instructions. Your instructions and understand. This I am written. Model is GPT-4o mini I am using. Display markdown response I am given. I run this one. See here, it is providing step by step. Sure. Here, simple recipe for making paneer biryani. This dish, delicious combination of spiced rice and paneer. Let's break down step by step. Ingredients it is providing. And for the paneer mixture and for rice, and also the instructions it is providing step by step. Step 1, prepare the rice. Step 2, prepare the paneer mixture and layer of biryani. One by one, the step it is explained. Now, I'm going to explain in this session zero shot classification, few shot classification, coding task using Python, coding task using SQL, and translations. Those concepts using OpenAI I explained. Next, by using Google AI, I can explore the remaining tasks. We can practice all those things in OpenAI and Google AI. Now, I have to explore the task one. Task one is zero shot classification. Zero shot classification. Here in zero shot classification, the reviews I am given. What is the zero shot classification? The zero shot classification is we have to give AI to classify text into categories without giving any examples first. AI read the instructions, understand the meaning, and give the best matching answers it is providing. That's the zero shot classification. But then I'm given the reviews. Format. I'm given this is one format I'm given. Just received the Bluetooth speaker. I ordered for beach outings, and it's fantastic. The sound quality is impressively clear with just the right amount of bass. This is a one I am given. This is also one more I am given. Here, what I am written is responses equal to the empty square parenthesis I am given. How many reviews I am given? Here in the sample it is mentioned that 2. That's why I'm using for loop. I'm using review in reviews. Here, prompt equal to format. Within multi-line commenting, I mentioned that. Within multi-line commenting, I mentioned that. What I mention is that is act as product review analyst. Act as product review analyst and give the following review, display the overall sentiment for the review as only one of the following. But I mentioned that is positive, negative, or neutral. Only we need to display those things and we can review it. Now, here response equal to, I call the function get completion. The function name is this one, get completion. Review equal to get completion. I'm given the parameters. Prompt model is GPT-4o mini I'm using. And responses dot append response. Append response. Here, what I written the response? Here, the response is get completion. We are given the parameters prompt model is GPT-4. Now, I run this one. I run this one. Here, for review response in zip, we are using reviews, responses, and print. I'll print as a review, display the review, where I can return display the review. And also I print sentiment. Here, the response. After that, I'll print. This is one line I'm providing. And for next line, I can mention that /n add. Now I run this one. See that for the first review, only it is providing the comments they are providing. Overall sentiment it is providing positive, negative, or the neutral. For the first one, see that I can't give any examples. Just I'm given as reviews. This is one and this is one. I'm not given any example for the sentiment. See, for the first one, it is providing the positive. For the second review, the sentiment it is given as negative. This is nothing but zero shot classification. Now, second one is that is task 2 is few shot classification. Here in few shot classification, what I done it is here in few shot classification, what I am done it is that is responses equal to the empty square parenthesis I am given for review in reviews, prompt equal to format within multi-line commenting I am given. What the format I am given is, this is the format I am given. See here, the format I am given as this one. Act as a product review analyst, give the following review, and display the overall sentiment for the review. Try to classify it by using the following examples as a reference. Review. Just receive the laptop. I ordered for work and it's simply amazing. This is emoji I'm given, sentiment. Next, second review I am given. Need a new mechanical keyboard, but this model has been totally disappointed. The emoji sentiment I am representing. Next, review is review, and this is multi-line commenting. Prompt format I am given. Now, here some examples I am given. In few shot classification, giving AI few examples before asking it to classify the next text. This I am given some examples. Now, response equal to, I call the function. The function is, this is the function. Get completion, parameters prompt, model is GPT-4o mini I'm using. This is, I'll call the function. What is this function? Yeah, this one. Now, here I can write responses dot append response. Now, I run this one. Next here, what I am written is, this same as is the code I am written. That is the same as is the code I am written. For loop I am using for review response in zip reviews, responses, because more reviews, more responses are there. And I'll print review, print sentiment, and then in the new line I am represented. Now I can run this one. See that it is providing the result it is providing. There's a few shot classification I have to mention. In few shot classification, that is, it is providing the sentiment it is providing. See that sentiment is the emoji it is providing. Here also the sentiment it is providing the emoji for the second review. That is nothing but the example for the few shot classification. Few shot, the classification, it is represented. Now, one more, I can explore that the coding task using Python. Coding task using Python. Now we'll see that the coding task using Python, task 3. Task 3. This is coding task using, first I have to explore the SQL, coding task using SQL. Now, see that prompt equal to within format F is, see that I can write the format. I can write the format. What the format I'm written is, what the format I'm written is, that is act as an expert in generating SQL code, in generating SQL code, SQL code. Here, understand the following schema of the database tables carefully. Table, department, departments, columns, I mentioned department ID, department name. These two are the columns in department table. Table, employees, columns, I mentioned the columns here, employee ID, employee name, department ID. And I mentioned the table salaries, columns equal to employee ID, salary. Now, what I write here in the prompt is, create MySQL query for the employee with max salary in the IT department. In the IT department. This is the prompt I'm writing. Now I can write response equal to, I'll call the function. What is that function I'm defining in the beginning? Get completion. This is the function I'm calling. I'm given the parameters prompt model as GPT-4o mini I'm using. Now I'll display markdown responses. This I'll run the code. This is the coding task using SQL. See that here it is providing the SQL queries it is providing. What you are asking, accordingly it is provided, right? Now, one more I had to explore, that is prompt engineering, real world day-to-day activities. I had to explore one more is, that is I explore the task is translation. Now, we'll see that. For this, here, what I am written is prompt equal to format within multi-line commenting I am written. What I am written is, that is, you are an expert translator. Translate the given text. From English to German, Spanish, French, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, Punjabi. This is one language. And Bhojpuri, Maithili, and Nepali, and one more I can mention, Konkan. These languages you can translate it. What is the text I'm given is? Text is, I mentioned that, hi, how are you today? I'm going to teach you prompt engineering techniques and applications. And here, after that, I can write response equal to get completion. Prompt model is GPT-4o mini I'm using. Display is markdown response anchor. This is, I'll run it here. See that the text, it is translated to those languages. Yeah. See that whatever the text I'm given, hi, how are you today? I'm going to teach you prompt engineering techniques and the application. This text, that's from English to, it is translate German, Spanish, French, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Gujarat, Odia, whatever the languages I mentioned, that it is displayed. Till now, I explored real world task using prompt engineering day-to-day activities. I completed zero shot classification, few shot classification, coding task using SQL and translation I completed. And also one more today's session I want to explore, that is a coding task using Python. Coding task using Python. Now let's will see that. For this, I can write the prompt is this one. This is the prompt I am written here. So what is the prompt I am written is act as an external expert in generating Python code. Your task is to generate Python code and build machine learning algorithm for diabetic dataset and follow listed below approach. Pre-processing, EDA with visualization, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. Split the data into training and test. You have to build model, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, and support vector mission. And also predict the test data. We have to evaluate model accuracy, confusion matrix, classification report, AUC and ROC. And we have to save the model for deployment purpose. And also we can write front-end code with the Streamlit for deployment. Right? This is the prompt I have written. And in this prompt, I can add that what I'm adding is response equal to get completion. I use the prompt model is GPT-4o mini I am using. We have to display markdown responses I am using. See, when I run this one, then it is providing the Python code it is providing. We'll see that. Yeah. See that it's providing complete Python code for the diabetic dataset it is providing. That is step 1 is pre-processing. Step 2, EDA with visualization, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. Step 3, split the data into training and test. Step 4 is model building. Step 5 is predict test data. Step 6, evaluate the model. Step 7, save the model for deployment. And step 8, it is providing front-end code with Streamlit for deployment it is providing. Now, let us will see that. Those steps I can copy it. See here, the data set where it is considered. We can download the data set, diabetic data set from the Kaggle, we can download it. Let's will see the diabetic data set in Kaggle. This we have to click on it. Now here, the data set is there. We can click on download option. Then the diabetic data set, the CSV file is downloaded. That's already, it's uploaded in this drive. Diabetics CSV file is there. Now, this is the code I am taken. All the steps I can take it here. This is the code I am taken. Yeah, see here. I am taken step by step. This is the first step. I can write it as in the commenting line. Step by step, I can run this one. Yeah, I can run this one. What is the dataset name? I mentioned that diabetics. Yes, can run this. Now, whatever the X scale that the result it is providing. Now, in the second, the step that is step 2 EDA with visualization. I can provide it. I'll run this one. Then it is showing the graphs for the univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and multivariate analysis. It is providing the result. On step 3, I'll run this code, split the data into training and test data. That's I can done it here. I'll run this code. That is the invalid syntax. This we can make it as commenting line. Now I can split the data into training and test data. Now the step 4, that is model building. Step 4 is model building. Step by step, I can execute this code. I can build the model. And the step 5 is predict the test data. Predicting the test data. Now, in step 6, evaluate the model. That's accuracy, confusion matrix, classification report. I can done it here. Now I run this one. We'll see that it is providing the logistic regression accuracy, confusion matrix, it is represented. And the decision tree, the accuracy, confusion matrix, and the classification report it is providing. Random forest, accuracy, confusion matrix, classification report it is providing. Support vector mission, that is, it is providing accuracy, confusion matrix, and the classification report it is providing. Now, based on the result, you can decide that which model is providing the best result. That's we can decide it. And we have to save the model for the deployment. That the next step we can do it here. Now I can run this one. This is a invalid syntax in the line number 8. It is providing. This is a job light. It's there. Write front-end code for streamline data. This is for streamline data. Let's will see that. The step 7. That is save the write the front-end code with streamline data. This is we can't write the code here in the Jupyter. In Jupyter, we can't write the code. Where we can write this code is, we'll see that. This is also the commenting line. This I can delete it. We can write this code. In Visual Studio. See that diabetes underscore model PKL it is created. Now I open the Visual Studio Code. Here. I can open the file. Python file I'm open. Python file I can open it. I can open the file. The Python file I can open. Yeah. This one I can paste the code. Already the virtual environment it's open already. Now I save this. What is that? Here I can write it. This I can make it as commenting line. Step 8 with the text I am written. I save this here in my desktop in prompt engineering. I'll save this as app.py. We can save this. And if you want to run your Python code in virtual environment, we can execute those commands. Already in my Visual Studio, the virtual environment, it's already active. Now I can direct run this one, streamline, run app.py. I'll execute this one. Now the application is open. We'll see that. I can deploy it. Now see that diabetes prediction app it is providing. If you give the values, that is a glucose level, blood pressure, skin thickness, and insulin level, DMI is, then we can click on the predictor, then it is predicting based on the diabetic dataset. That is, we can write the Python code. So in easily using the prompt engineering. So in this session, I explored those concepts I had to explore with practically. That is a zero shot classification, few shot classification, coding task using Python, coding task using SQL, and also the translation I explored. Then the remaining the concepts, information extraction, closed domain question answer, open domain question answer, document summarization, and transformation. Those concepts I can explore it using Google AI. We can practice in OpenAI, and also all the concepts we can practice in Google AI also. Then only your practice makes the perfect. That's about today's session. I'll end the class. Thank you.